So, welcome guys. Welcome to this new session. Here, I'll be discussing in full details how we can set up our firewall, and if we remember, when we scan our, let me check whether this thing is recording. Yes, it's recording because I've wasted like almost 2 hours now without this session. I forgot that it's not recording, so I'm trying to redo it again. So when we scan our metasploitable applications, we discover that we have some open ports and some services running after getting the particular IP address of that metasploitable. So what we are going to do here is we assume that your own personal system you are working with now is for an organization where we have our application running as our server, and you as a cybersecurity guy, you are expected to secure this application, and what is being expected of you is to do some setups on that your server, which is your own system. So what you do is, one of those things you need to know is setting up your firewall. We are going to do some demonstrations here now. I will see how it goes. So the first thing I will do is I want to check. I'm assuming now that my own system now is this organizational system where the application is running. So I want to see how many applications are running so that I will see how to secure them. How to secure them. So to get the applications running on this firewall, I'll do sudo app list. Sudo ufw app list. So once I click enter, so I have all of these applications running here on this particular server. At this moment, I have all of these applications running on this system. You might have something similar, you might have something different. Don't panic. You can install more, or they can install more. Your own is just to secure. Let them install anything of their choices. Your own is just to secure. So once you know all of this, first thing I will take note is, I remember something like Samba and SSH, SMTP. This one is for mail services. This SSH is for it's a vulnerable port. It's even this Samba telnet. Wow. So while setting up your firewall, all these things are things you can just quickly remember and do something beautiful about them. So I'll clear my screen first. Then the next thing I'll do is I've discovered the type of applications running on my local server. So, and you need to confirm whether you have firewall installed, which we have done yesterday. Even by the time you run this first app list, if firewall is not installed, it won't run successfully. So we have confirmed that in our previous class. So the next thing we are going to do is to check the status of that firewall. UFW status. It is active. My what's it called? My firewall is active. If it is not active at your end, you can activate it, but it's not necessary for now. Make sure you set up all your rules. After setting up all your rules, you can then activate it. Or better still, to activate it, just UFW, just say enable. Enable is up and running. With this code, it will activate it. By the time you check it again, you you see active. But let me demonstrate it so that you grab what I'm saying. So I want to disable it. So if I check the status again, you see it is inactive. If you have something like this initially, don't panic. Like I've said, don't panic. So just activate it, enable it. So I will enable it back. Then if I enable it, then I can check my status. So it will show me the allowed IP addresses or allowed IP ports. So in this case, I want to allow some ports. I want to allow some IP addresses. I want to set some boundaries to them, tell them what they can do, tell them what they should not do. So in this case, all I'll be doing is I will allow UFW, then I'll say allow. I'll start with SSH, skipping adding existing rule. I'll say allow. Just press your arrow key, up arrow key. It will bring the last command you typed. Then you can edit it. I want to allow HTTP rule added. I want to allow HTTPS rule added. I want to allow Samba rule added. I want to allow Telnet rule added. You can allow as many services you remember or as many ports you remember. So I've allowed some, let me say, names of services running. So let me just add by port number. You can also do that. Let me clear my screen so that it will be clear or clearer. So let me say I want to allow port 100. Maybe a particular service is running particular that this port I open it myself and I am running some applications through this port. It's possible you allow it, root added. I want to allow port 200. I want to allow port 250 or port 205. All of these ports you must have a reason why you are allowing all of these ports. You must have a reason why you are allowing all of it. I will still explain, but before I start the explanation, I want to check whether, let me check my status. Sudo UFW status. Let's see. Wow, I've added enough. Wow, that's cool. I've added all of this. If you remember when we started, I only have this. I think 228 and I don't know, I think 666. Yes, I have this 666. But now all those things I've added, look at them. These are the actions. Allow. So that means I've allowed some ports or some services. Now let me clear it. Let me now add by IP address. Before I will now go to how to delete or how to deny them. To add IP address, it's still the same method, but not the same method. The same method in the sense that you allow, but when you are dealing with IP address, you specify from. So, and the reason why you need to specify from is this. Don't forget, you are the cybersecurity guys. You are handling the back end, that's the server side security this time around. And let us assume in that particular organization you are working with, let us assume they have 15 systems, 15 different systems. Or no, they should have more than that. Let me say 15 or 30 different laptops. All of them will be connected to a particular network. That is, the source of their internet, the source of their communication will be from a particular source, the same source. In this case, they will share the same IP address. Excuse me. They will share the same IP addresses, and then I believe by now we know how to identify them when they are on the same network. When they are on the same network, they will have, we have before the dot, or where the dot separates them, we have four numbers. In my own end, I will use one as an example. I have 192.168.131 dot something. So that dot something I mentioned now is the only number that will differentiate them. The first three numbers I mentioned, 192.168.131, they all going to be the same. Now, in this case, you as a cybersecurity guy, this is what you should do. You get the IP address of each of those 30 systems. Now, this is where they now want to test your intelligence. They have 100 systems and they are on the same network. Let me just put this. I'll answer it for you, don't worry. I'll answer it, but I'll put it in the form of I'm asking you guys an interview question. So I'm throwing it at you now that you are sitting at the front of panelists and you are being asked, how can you secure a particular application? Do you know how to set up a firewall? You say yes. Fine. I want to test you on firewall now. You say yes. Okay. Mention some rules that you apply to set up your firewalls. You can just say, okay, you can set up outbound rules. You can set up some. You can allow some ports to communicate. You can allow some IP addresses to communicate. You can allow some. You can deny some IP addresses also to not to communicate. You can deny some ports not to have access, even for intruders not to come in. They will clap for you, they will nod their head, they will look at one another and smile that you know what you are doing. Now, the next question is nowadays, if you have up to 200 systems in, let's say we have 200 systems in these organizations, I want to set up a firewall rules for these 200 systems to communicate or to have access to a particular applications within the network, within the organization. How can you go about these 200 systems within 5 minutes? Within 5 minutes. That is a suicide mission if you are to do it manually. So what you are expected to see is not that you go to one system, you say ifconfig, you go to another system, you say that you are not a typist. So, and in programming, we learn how to be lazy. In most cases, we learn how to be lazy. You can see what in some cases I don't type. I'll press my arrow keys up, down to. I've done this thing before, so I don't need to retype them to be showing my skill that I'm a typist when I'm not all those business center guys. So what you do now is this: the previous knowledge you had how to check IP address. When we were discussing about the IP address of how to get IP address of when you are using public Wi-Fi, you can get IP address of everybody connected to that public Wi-Fi. So the next thing to do is this: you use that same code. To get the IP address of that all the system connected to that system in that organization, which is the ARP. I will show you guys now exactly. This code will save you millions of minutes. This code will save you millions of minutes. So this code is what you should memorize. Just memorize it. It will list out all the IP addresses for you on that network based on that network alone. So it's going to show you all those things for you. So just permission deny. So you can just say sudo. If it says permission deny, just sudo it. Sudo means you should have root permission. So these are the IP addresses on this my own network as at today. So if you have this code, just copy all of this. It's going to show you, even if this 1 million is going to show you for you. Just copy it one after the other. Then by the time you now get to your firewall setup where you need to add the IP addresses, just try to set up whatever rules you want to set on each. So that is what you should do. I've saved you the interview questions on that. Now the next thing to do is I've added enough, which I think, okay, let me add IP address now. So I'll say sudo ufw. What do I want to do? I want to allow. Then I'll now say from. Now I've used this method just to ease my stress. And what the reason why I'm doing this is because I will change it to 30 systems now. I will assume I'm using 30 system. So I'll say 30 automatically. The 30 systems in my organization, let's assume the number differentiated is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 9 10. So you can do this and you click enter. It says rules added. Automatically it saves time. Instead of me to add 1 2 3 manually, it's added 1 to 30 within milliseconds. It's not even up to a second, milliseconds. So that is that. If I check my status again, status, you see a bunch of them. You see, you have want to okay, why? Yes, power failure. So I have 192.168.131 30 1 to 131 to 1. Okay, it's adding them one by one. So let's say what it does was, this is the IP address, then it gives this. Okay, let me do something else. 130. Okay, to assign it to this, I want to assign it to a particular port. I think it's assigned to a particular port. Let me say I want to assign to port 400 is means something. Okay, let me use port 678. Bad destination. Exactly what I wanted to get. Bad destination. So what I just discovered in this place is it assigned. Let me clear it so that you can see it. It assigned. Yes, now let me bring it out again. Yes, it assigned this particular IP address 1. This is IP address 1 to this as the server IP address. Yes, it assigned it to this server IP address. Why is it not picking? Yes, it's assigned to this server IP address. Let me now add. Yes, let me add this to 2. Let's say 3. I will stop at 10 if I won't kill myself, or 4, or yes, let me stop at 10 because there is something I would like to. 5 6 7. I didn't put 7 or what? Okay, I type 7 somewhere else. 7 added 8 added 9. Yes, let me stop at 9. So in this case, I will check my status again. Sudo ufw status. Allow. Okay, now let me check the IP address. Yes, from anywhere. So this from anywhere, let me say from 2 3 4 5 6. So this one is expecting this IP address to be communicating from this particular source. Then this one says from anywhere. Now what I will advise you to do is, you as the cybersecurity guy, you should know the IP address of the gateway. so that it can be allowed from them. This anywhere is highly insecure, that for me as an attacker, I can try to manipulate your source of internet, that's such as a Wi-Fi, get the password, then I'll try to log in on my own system with your own source of internet. And immediately I'm able to do that, it will give me the same, I will share the same IP address with you guys. What will only be different is just this last digit. Then with this anywhere, I can also do some malicious thing. I can create some, this rule you have added yourself, I can add at my own end too. Then I will allow myself in, then I can do some malicious things. So it's better you you do it this way. Allow from let me say from 9, let me say from 10 now. I'll say from 10 to 192.168. I think 131.30. Yes. Just look at these two. Let's look at these two. So which one did I just added? Oh, I have not checked my status. Let me check the status. Yes. So the status now, look at these two now. I allowed this and this one, and mind you, this and this, they are the same thing, and let it be your own IP address, so that these people can communicate from using your IP, so that it shouldn't be any from anywhere. That's one of those things you should just take note of. You should use your IP instead of just using the first one I did, which is this. So make sure you use from that to this, so you are safe. So that is that. Let me clear my screen because I zoom it. That's why I need to clear my screen each time. So how to add IP address, number one. How to add port numbers, and how to add service name using their service name. Also, we have done that. So the next thing to do is let's say we want to, I think we have opened some ports. Let me check. We have opened some ports. I have some ports. I have port 222, port 100. Yes. Let me add more port. Sudo ufw allow. When you are allowing from port, you don't say from, you just specify the port. Let's say port 1000. Yes, port 1000 added. So I don't need to check the status, it's added already. Now the next one I'm going to quickly look into is deny. How do we deny, and why must you deny? If you want to set deny, you only do that if you don't want a particular after adding all the IP addresses. Maybe you want 30 workers in that organization, they all have systems, and some section they don't need a printer. You can deny them from using printers. Some set of systems, you don't want them to have access to sharing of files, like maybe after the CEO, the manager, the whatever, you don't want them to have access to your own your own system or to the server. You deny others, you leave others allow. So that is that's the essence of allowing or denying. Or you can just still think of any other ways or any other possibility that can make someone to say, okay, I want to deny particular system from accessing so, or I want to allow a particular system for allowing so in organizational sectors. There should be reasons why you need to allow and why you need to deny. So all those reasons now left for you. So let's see how we can deny. Then if we can deny, let's see how we can delete. So after we can delete, then we just see whether we can just do some other things if time permits us. So in this case, at this level now, we want to see how we can deny. So like this port 100, I don't want to allow it again. I want to deny it. So what I'll do is sudo, I'll say sudo ufw, then deny. I just say deny. What am I denying? I want to deny 100 first. Rule added, updated. The same thing, I want to deny 205, deny successfully. Deny successfully. Okay, if I want to deny from a particular IP, it will work, but I will show you what to do. But before I show you, let me clear my screen. Sorry for that spelling. Let me clear my screen. Let me show you status of what has happened so far. Now look at, we have deny here, and before we don't have anything like deny. Don't forget I have denied 205. That means I don't want 205 to communicate to some other things which I have not specified yet. I think I did for 2. Yes, okay, this is the second one. This is the first one, this is the second one. So my intention now is that I want to deny all of these IP addresses 1, 3, 4, 6, and maybe 8. I want to deny them also. But if we try the code we try for deny, let me see, 192.168.131. Let me say 8. This one I highlighted. It won't work. It will not work, because like what happened while we are adding our IP address for what's it called, our IP address and our port number, we added them in different ways. So to deny them also is totally different. If you try this, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So what we do is, first thing is we deny by referencing to their numbers. It's allowed in serial numbers. Let me show us what I mean by serial numbers. All of these things we have here, anywhere, let me count it before showing you. Let me count it. So now this dash is number, this 22 is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. So if you want to be doing this manually, you need a paper and a pen. And if care is not taken, you do a mistake. There's no way you made a mistake, then you have to come back and start writing. But before you do that, in order not to go through that stress, just save yourself that stress. And say sudo my firewall status I put status numbered. That is, it should number all the status for you. So with this now, then we are good to go. So let's check. So like I said, that 222 is number 1, number 2, number 3. So our intention now is to deny the IP address of this, maybe 234. Let me just say 234 now. And where is 2? 2 is number 10, number 11, number 12. So we are doing for 10, 11, 12. So what I will do next is sudo ufw deny what? I'm denying 10, 11, 12. 10. Yes, it works. I will deny 11. It works. I will deny 12. It works. Then let me check my status one more time. Yes, I'll go and check the number. Let me number them so that I'll not stress myself like that. So let me go to Okay, yes. Okay, this says I've 10, I've denied 10, I've denied 11, I've denied 12. I've denied 10, 11, and 12. So yes, let me see how to let me deny. Yes, something I want to get here. Let me deny 9. Yes, let me deny 9. Deny 9 added. So let me check my status. Sorry, my status. I denied 9. Okay, I've denied 9. This is it. I'm seeing it there. I've denied 9 now. I've denied 9. It's not numbering them. Let me number them. Yes. So I denied 9. So let me check. Okay. Yes, I've denied it now. So that is how to deny both IP address and port numbers. Give me some. Yeah, I'm back. So that is that. That is that about. Let me clear my screen. So now, after allowing and denying both IP addresses and what's it called, port numbers or service numbers. Next one is, let's see how we can delete. Let's see how we can delete. We can also delete by referring to the index number or the serial number we generated. So for instance, let me see. I want to delete 34. I want to delete 34. All I'll do is sudo ufw, then delete. I'll say delete, then I'll just specify the number. I want to delete 34, as I've said. 34. Say it's deleting whatever is asking you questions. So just say yes, delete. And don't forget that 34 is 10. That's this IP address. That's 2. It's 2. So let me check the status one more time. Yes. The IP address with 2. It's numbered. Yes, number them for me. So it's no longer there. It's no longer there. This. Let me show us. Exactly. Let me see the one I specified before deleting. Because I've even forgotten the one I deleted. So 34, yes, I deleted 34. So let me see where we have 34. 34 is this. So you can see this again. 10 in bracket versions, this. So let's check it at the bottom. You can see it again. You see, we only have 11, 12, and 10 is gone. So let's delete 11 and 12. Let's see. So let's see, delete 34 again. Yes, good. Before you know which one to delete again, you check the numbers. You discover that 34 is gone. So 34 was 11 before, so it's now being replaced by 12. So you can still delete this. Delete 34 again. Yes. So this 12 version vs we won't see it again there. So just let's see what we have there is another thing. You see, we have 9 left. So that's how to delete. You delete by referencing numbers. If you want to delete using let's see, I want to delete, this is the first, I don't want to use, yes, I want to delete 100. Let's see whether it's going to work. Lie. You see, because 100 is not the reference number. So that's that. If you want to delete 100, it should be 1. Yes. is deleted. So check the numbers. So go up. Yes, you see it's gone. So it has been replaced by this. So now that is how to delete, how to deny, and how to allow your firewall. And by denying all of this, you are specifying some system to do that particular thing. If you allow, that means you want a particular system or client to communicate with you. If you don't want, so that is that. And the back end also, we use tools to set up their communications. So the last thing I will be explaining before going is, I've explained how to delete, how to open a port, how to deny a port, how to open IP address, how to allow open IP address, how to delete IP address, and how to even deny IP address and also delete IP address. So the last one is how to reset firewall. If we check our firewall status, guys, you see that we have some beautiful things there. Let me just clear this. We have all of these things there. Wow, we have set a lot, but let's assume we don't need all of this again. Maybe you need this new system, or you have some set of new intakes of systems that you need to set up. And by the time after connecting them, the network engineers, after connecting them, you scan their IP addresses, you discover that the IP address assigned to the new systems, they have been reshuffled, they have been reset. Everything have scattered. All you just need to do is to reset your firewall configurations and start afresh, because it's possible that before you were working with 30 systems, that's 30 clients, and they added 10 more clients, and after connecting them to their server, they reload it, they do reconfiguration, then you discover that some of the new system just added are using one of the old client IP addresses. You don't need to stress yourself, just reset everything and start your configuration afresh. It's not going to take you a whole day if you know what you are doing. So just do that, except you want to punish the organization and just be wasting time, which it won't speak well of you. So just do the resetting. So how do we reset? It's very, very easy and straightforward. So I'll clear the screen. And I will say you can reset UF to default. That's at all of the ports will be closed. Nothing will be allowed. In fact, you won't even see anything. So to do that, just a command. Just run a command. And what is the command? Just a sudo ufw, then you say reset, and you're good. If you press enter, and by the time you say Y, guys, everything we have done is going to go. So immediately I click enter, it's gone. So if you want to reference back to some settings, some of your rules, you just use this one. You copy this, you can right click on it, which is not necessary. It's not necessary, just say cut. So cut, permission deny. So you can sudo it because it's sensitive, that's why it's denying it. So you can cut it. So these are the things you have done and it has been saved. So because everything you are doing, your system is registering it. That is why if you want to do the black arc, yes, you are not safe. You are not safe. So once they check your logs and they find all of this, you're in trouble. So, and if you copy this part also, this is the only thing you see there. If you copy this part, I think you see another thing entirely. Let me see whether the names are different. Etsy UFW user, yes, this is before rules, then these are after rules, user 6, before 6, after 6. So you have different things things there. If you want to see what you have before, what you have after, all of those things, you can set them, you can check them. And again, if that's, although the system administrators work, it's not your own job as a cybersecurity guys to know, to set up users for them. We have system administrator that handle users. Like I've said, that 30 systems, you have system administrator that will assign names for them, that you just go there, pick their names. That's why in some organization you see that they tag system with labels, system whatever users, so password, so, which is necessary just for cybersecurity guys and the system administrators guys to easily access or identify the systems after working at the back end. So that is the little thing I think you need for now, but at your own end you can just try as much as possible to work more on this what's it called, firewall. And we have a lot of things to set. This firewall is the most important one, so, and I've given you at least the introduction. So everything that I'm doing here is just the introduction, so you can just work more on them. But with this one, we have covered a lot. It's not the basic, is not just introduction anymore. So that's that. So thank you guys. We see in the next class.